I graduated school in DC, and my job brought me to Atlanta. And I had the choice to move to several cities around then. So when I saw the Olympics in '96, Atlanta just looked so gorgeous, pretty. Um, and so when I got my job here, I called a buddy who happened to be working here at the time, and he said, "It's a great city. Come on over." And more than anything else, right? The cost of living at the time was so less than parts of the Northeast where I could move. So I figured, why not? Intelligentsia it's a technology professional services company, right? We do both technology as well as um, what we call BPO or business outsourcing services, right? So my role is we have a ton of our customers, right, based out of the U.S., right? And my job uh, has been to start in Atlanta, and so I've only been with us for the last 6 months or so, right? Um, and my goal is to establish sort of physical presence here in Atlanta, right? Of course, in the midst of the pandemic, we haven't, opened up an office, et cetera, et cetera. But the goal is by 2021, maybe early 2022, we'll have hired an office, have an operation of about 30, 40 staff that's part of our global business, right? Because we have close to 500 employees in the Philippines, over 200 employees in India, right? So my job is to kind of support our customer base, but also start developing sort of the balanced service delivery where we have sort of U.S. based professionals that are coordinating across with our global delivery teams. I took a 15, 16-year hiatus to raise my kids, which was important to me, right? It was an important aspect of my of things I value, right? I stayed connected with the community. I stayed connected with tech leaders, but informally, right? And when I took on this role with Intelligentsia, I've been scoping sort of the various organizations in Atlanta to kind of potentially partner with. And the Chamber of Commerce in Alpharetta felt like the right partner for us because Alpharetta um, has been sort of Atlanta's Silicon Valley, if you will, right? We have attracted a lot of tech companies. We've attracted a lot of tech businesses here. Um, and it's a business friendly climate. And so it felt like the right chamber to partner with. So that's where when we got in conversation with Deborah at the chamber, right, we decided to come in sort of at the board level to kind of truly, one to show our investment in the city of Alpharetta, but at the same time demonstrate our commitment to kind of growing the business here and supporting the community. Atlanta, sort of from early days to where we've come today, Atlanta was really sort of the, uh, what do you say? It was more of the sales and delivery kind of hub for many big companies, and then gradually just started, lot of companies started setting up their back office technology operations just because good plays, good market, good talent, but great place to move some of those away from Silicon Valley, right? A job I held for almost 10 years was McKesson, right? And McKesson had moved from San Francisco, all of their back office operations to Atlanta, and eventually they moved it from I think from Atlanta to Dallas partly. Um, um, uh, and then what we're seeing now is really some first of all, Atlanta itself has such a diverse economy, right, in terms of how many big large companies, industries that it's attracted. So we've been able to sustain technology as part of those industries. But I think the combination of the schools, the mindset, I think now we're starting to think more along those lines where we could possibly become a unicorn, right? Where we could possibly become where we can start supporting those startups, start offering those talents. Um, just that the culture is a lot more stronger now than it has been in prior years. That's my opinion, right? Based on what I see in the market. I mean, companies need technology to run their business, right? And
Yep.
a lot of times this includes like HR software, big large ERP software, inventory systems, warehouse systems, things of that sort, right? And managing the financial systems. All these operational systems that run a corporate business are what I would consider back office functions, right? And Atlanta has sort of been. I mean, I have has been a hub for that kind of technology. Where it's not necessarily cutting edge, not necessarily products, um, but definitely important for and vital for businesses to operate. And we have the right time zone, East Coast wise, right? We're able to support the entire East Coast from a time zone perspective, and also kind of be that bridge with other parts of the globe because we're the furthest east, and we can work a lot more with Europe, a lot more with time zone overlap with companies and countries in Asia, big tech countries like India, for example, right? Um, so those are some of the advantages that Atlanta has in terms of that back office function and sort of that global hub in terms of collaboration with the globe. But I think it's also the coolness factor, right? Silicon Valley tends to attract, have a culture around tech, a culture around venture capitalists, a culture around sort of attracting sort of that smart tech talent, creating the next new technology. I think Atlanta needs a few such successes that are either homegrown or start attracting, kind of like Austin is right at the moment, right? Attracting a lot of the incentives driven, where it's attracting talent out of Silicon Valley into Austin. Um, and Austin also has that little bit of that San Franciscan culture that's in the city of Austin, and I think Atlanta uh, could have some of those cultural factors that attract maybe the kinds of talent that we do. My opinion, right, is Alpharetta is very much like sort of the San Jose suburb is to the city of San Francisco, right? So,
Mm.
where I think Atlanta tends to be much more of the financial hub, right, versus Alpharetta tends to be more, and so the financial and business hub, the city of Atlanta. I think sort of the northern part, Alpharetta, tends to be more focused on tech, right? Because a lot of the talent. I mean, it's a very similar dynamic as what you see with San Francisco, right? Where you've got highly educated, high income um, tech workforce, um, and Alpharetta sort of at the center of the northern suburbs, right? Whether you're, because right now you have you know businesses operating all the way up in Cumming, northern parts of Cumming, uh, and so Alpharetta is sort of is in that sweet spot, right? But in terms of attracting youngish urban talent, Alpharetta is also making a lot of city. I mean, the city of Alpharetta has made a lot of changes, right? We've invested in what do you call mixed use developments, a lot of apartment living, sort of more urban sophisticated living here in Alpharetta, right? Nice restaurant scene, nice pub scene, all of that stuff that attracts attracts a potential younger, more vibrant sort of tech community here. So because Alfred has sort of been a lot more business and commercial focused in addition to sort of quality of lifestyle, versus I think other suburbs have focused a lot more around quality of lifestyle, but much more they don't want the traffic that businesses bring. They don't want, so they tend to be a little less aggressive when it comes to sort of the business heavy investment. But Alpharetta's never shied away from that and has really embraced that wholeheartedly.